Hello, how's it going? Good evening. Very happy for you to also join us tonight. So I'm David Green, and what we're doing tonight is we are doing the cover reveal for Neen Cohen's debut novella, Cold as Hell, which is coming out on May 31st, and it can be pre-ordered at this lovely fine link right there. Very excited. This is a terrific book. Really enjoying working with Neen on it. Really excited. I read it a long time ago, actually, and I'm really excited to bring it out. We've got a lot of interesting things to talk about. Got a lot of interesting things to do. So, without further ado, here is the person of the hour, Neen Cohen. Hello.
Hi everyone. It's morning here, so it's a little disconcerting. I'll just sit here drinking my coffee.
Yeah, it's morning there, and it's 11:15 p.m. here. So it's but that's fine. That's showbiz, isn't it? That's
Pretty much, yeah.
That's the way it is. We just got loads of love hearts just appearing on the screen. So I don't know if you can see those as well. So
no, I can't, but that's awesome. Hi guys.
Great. So before we reveal the cover and everything like that, we just wanted to kind of have a little chat about you. So why don't you tell us and everyone who's watching, and obviously this will be on the page so people can catch up at other points and everything. We will be doing a giveaway also for Cold as Hell. And all you need to do to get in for a chance to win it is just to leave a comment, any comment at all. So even Adrian Fletcher, who says, "Hello, Dave," and "Hello, Neen," and Greg Cunningham saying "Hello, boys," and which I think is guys, and Brandy saying "Hi, David and Neen." You're all already in the competition to win a competition. Win a competition, obviously. Win a copy as hell. So, Neen, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm Aussie, obviously, and I did a writing degree at uni many years ago, and then tucked it in the bottom of the drawer and ignored it for about 10 years. And then I joined a local writing group about 3 years ago, and since then I've just been finally being brave enough to write and to reach out, and this is my first novella and I'm so excited about it. When I first started writing it, I was like, no, I do short stories. I don't do long things. But since then, it's been incredible, and I've learned so much about it. So I basically writing away and getting into genres that I love, which are basically spec fiction, and realizing that there's such a huge market for it. And I love that. Love that. So, yeah, that's me.
That's you. That's Neen. So we're getting a few people. So Greg confirms that it was guys that he was saying, it was not fives or fours. However, he would say that. Michelle, hello. How's it going? Thanks for coming on. It's just one comment. You can't get entered in multiple times. So just hello. Chris, hi Chris. Hello, loves. So excited for Neen. We're all excited. It's going to be great. So yeah, we've got the cover to show. So you've seen the cover, and then we've got a little thing to show everyone about it. So should we show it now? Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to knock this off here so you can see it properly, and we'll have a look at the video. So there you go. Do you want to see it again? Yeah, let's see it again. So there it is. There is the link to go and pre-order it right now. So we're going to be having the ebook is ready to pre-order. I think the paperbacks will be going up there for pre-order soon as well. We are doing that, so that'll be on there as well. And we also have a Redbubble store that we just launched right now. So that's there as well. So we'll put the links to that in the announcement afterwards. But there's a whole store of Cold as Hell Redbubble merch ready to go. So
yay!
Yeah. So Brandy loves it. It says beautiful. Michelle, well, it's great. Grant Hinton, hello Grant, very nice. Yes, that's good.
Oh, that's my brother-in-law.
There you go. Chris loves it, and Chris Hewitt. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Greg, brilliant colour. Thanks, Greg. So, what we'll do is before we start, what we do is, anyone's got any questions? I've got a couple of questions that I'm going to ask Neen in a second, and if anyone here has any questions, please put them in. We'll go through them. Remember, any comment at all, you get put into a competition to win a free copy. But for now, I'm going to turn it over to Neen, who is going to read you the blurb from Cold.
Alrighty.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so here's the blurb, everyone. The town of Open Fields is cold as hell. Magic exists in open fields, and everyone but Addie plays their part. So what happens when murder and strangers visit the secret town? Addie's normal isn't normal. Cameras watch her sleep, the eyes of the townsfolk narrow at her sight, and when she discovers her boss's office in disarray and a stranger who makes her heart thunder, her world changes forever. Neen Cohen's Cold as Hell is an urban dark fantasy like no other. What secrets do open fields hold? Addie's journey will rock the town to its foundation. Ta-da!
So, what I want to ask you first is, where did you get the idea for Cold as Hell?
I love writing origins of things, how things begin, and I was, because I'm a brought up in the country when I was younger, and I love the feel of small towns, and I also wanted to examine power and who actually has power. And in small towns, this is a really different dynamic than big cities or anything like that. So that's sort of where it stemmed from originally. So yeah, that was the original. I want to say more, but I'm like, no, that will spoil it. I can't tell you more, guys.
Yeah. So when you sat down to first write this, were you, this is what I'm going to write, or was it, I'm just want to explore this kind of thing, and everything just came from that idea?
I actually had an image of, sorry, I actually had an image of a girl sitting on a rock looking over a town. And that's where it actually all started. And her being part of it, but not part of it. So she knew all the secrets that she thought there were of open fields, but she was kind of tied there, but not really part of it. So this whole idea of sitting above, never really being part of it.
Okay.
So that's where it originally, like, just that image of Addie sitting up on the rock looking over this town.
Yeah, and Addie's a great character as well. She's very much a survivor, I would say. Would that be accurate to say that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a real great person, a great character as well. The other thing I wanted to ask you as well before we look at some, because we are getting some questions in, is we talked about, and we've kind of said it's a dark urban fantasy, but would you say there's more to it there's more facets to it than just that?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you've got the Sapphic fiction going on there. So Addie, the main character Addie, she's a lesbian. That plays part of, not so much an issue, but does certainly influence as well. But yeah, dark fantasy, and just that. So, oh god, does that answer it? Sorry,
There's lots
I'm
going
getting
on.
all fuddled. I keep reading these questions, going, oh, sorry.
Yeah, we'll start going into, because there's a lot of questions coming in, so we'll go to them. But what I was struck with this was that it is fantasy and it is
Yes.
urban, but it's very grounded as well, and the characters are very realistic. You do a great thing with Addie, where she has this kind of coping mechanism by counting.
Yeah, that's her way of just getting through each moment. And
Yeah.
I didn't like the thing about fantasy is the characters are still people and they should be developed just like any other genre. They should have the fears and the coping mechanisms and the things that excite them. And I love characters in my writing. Like they are quite often the starting points for me is the character. So yeah.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is one more time, while there's a few more people on before we ask the questions, we'll look at the cover again, and then we'll go through the questions. All right. So let's have a quick look at this, and then we can go into the questions. So get your thinking cap on, because there's lots of good questions. You're so happy. Your face is so happy.
I just love it. I just keep staring at it going, oh, it's so
pretty. Okay, so we've got a few comments. So Vicky, well done. She has a book en route, so she's inspired to see it. That's great. Jacinta needs all the merch. All the merch. She needs it all. That's great. Deborah, so excited to hear from Neen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Chris Banner, so it sounds amazing. Okay, so we have a first question. Michelle, are any of the characters inspired by anybody in your life?
Oh yeah, the bad guys. They're fabulous. I mean, that's what writers do, right? Like, we take the bad guys and the people that really just get under our skin and we make them pay. There's aspects of many different people in my characters, but I wouldn't say that there's one specific, like none of the characters is based just on one specific person. Because that would be just a little too obvious, wouldn't it? But yeah, so absolutely, like people I know, people from my past, they always influence other characters, because I can only be me, and so that's the best way to learn about how to develop good characters is to pick from elements of real life people, because they've got to be real. So yeah. Sorry, I hope that answers it, Michelle. So they are inspired by people in my life, but little elements from each people.
Is there anyone or any of your personality traits in any of the characters?
Oh, probably.
Probably.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
you're not going to tell me.
Yeah, you'll just have to read it and figure out which parts are me and which are not.
Brandy wants to know, how long did it take you to write this? This is an interesting one.
It's had a few goes. So originally, the first draft of it, I think it probably took me about 2 months, because I kept starting and stopping and restarting, changing where I've started it. So I have about 23 files of all different versions. But so it took about 2 months to get the story. And then since then it's been changed more and gotten more in depth and really worked in it. So overall, from when I very first started it to now, it's probably been just over a year. But in that time, I've done lots of other projects, lots of other writing. It's just one of the many things on my board.
And I've seen that board, and there's a lot of stuff on that board, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm too easily distracted. I can't focus on one thing for too long.
Well, if it works, doesn't it? Why change if it's broken? Okay, so Grant Hinton wants to know who was the hardest character to write and why?
The hardest that's a really good question. The hardest character for me to write, wow, they all had their challenges. Absolutely. Addie was the easiest for me. The hardest I felt like was a character called Billy. It took me a while to figure out how much of her to actually put in. There was more I wanted to put into her, but then it sort of became too much about her. And sorry, it wasn't her story. She tried to be pushy. I pushed back. But she was hard to get a grip on because I think because of Addie's conflicting emotions in relation to her more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
you never know. Billy could get her own story at some point. Right?
She could.
The thing is, because the place where it's set, and we have a comment from Nikki that says small towns can be horrifying in their own right, so it's a good choice on the setting.
Yeah, thank you.
Living in Ireland as well, there's lots of small kind of towns like this as well. But Open Fields, which is where Cold as Hell is set, definitely is a place with a lot of history that can be explored, I think. So,
yeah,
if you've got a pushy character that wants to tell their own story, then you've got the space to do it, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a few. They're all sitting there going, pick me.
Vicky wants to know, how did you put it together? Did you decide on the start and the ending? Did it flow or did you plan it out?
I am in the middle of learning to be more of a planner, but when I was writing this, I was 100% a pantser. And because of that, I think that's why I have so many versions of it, why I've had to do such intense edits of it, because I get too wrapped up in the story and I don't sit back and go, but how will that work? So for me, putting it together is like trying to stitch a pattern that you don't actually have the pattern of. So it was a bit difficult, but it's been a brilliant learning experience for me, and I feel like it has helped me realize where my strengths and weaknesses lie, and trying to plan out a bit more my stories at the moment. I'm letting them marinate a bit more in my head before I actually sit down and start just typing away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it is hard to figure out the start and the ending. Starts are challenging for me, but I'm getting there. I'm starting to understand more about where we should pick up from the story.
Yes, yeah, good answer. And Chris adds something similar where you kind of touched on there. What's the most important lesson you learned from writing a story of this length? So that's probably planning a little bit more, is it, this time? Yeah.
Absolutely, because I have focused so much on short stories in the past. Even with short stories, I'm learning I need to plan, but you can often write a first go of a short story in 1, maybe 2 days, depending on how much time you have. You can't do that with a longer piece. You really have to know so that you can get back into the right flow and rhythm of it. So definitely learning to plan a bit better.
Mm-hmm. But it's also fun not to plan sometimes.
Oh, yeah. When I say plan, it's not I know every breakdown of the chapter.
Like it's a big list, everything.
It's more just the overall, 2 or 3 main things that have to be hit.
Yeah.
And if I know the ending, that helps a lot.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Just end it. Just end it with 2 chapters to go. This is as far as it's going. We're not going further.
Yeah, so I'm really learning the importance of knowing the ending at the start.
Greg wants to know who chose the Simon Mayo soundtrack. That would be me. I don't know if Simon Mayo really travels very far, Greg. And I don't know if it's a very niche kind of thing to say about, but I understand. Deborah, great water bottle, Neen. She loves a tentacle.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
That's from Erie River. Is this one off Redbubble, or is it off Etsy? This one.
I think it's Redbubble. Yeah, it's Redbubble.
Check out the store because they got some amazing.
Do.
When you're on Redbubble looking at Cold as Hell, once you've finished looking at Cold as Hell, look at Erie River.
Yeah.
And then look in there. Hey, sorry, Greg, but Eric liked the music, so he knows what song it was. So there you go. Jacinta says bad guys are the best. Are they the best? Do you think so? Do you like
they're fun to write, and they're fun to hurt, and yeah, they're good therapy, I think.
I kind of have to work myself up to write a villain chapter from the villain's point of view. I have to kind of really psych myself up for it.
Yeah, no, I do get that. I always I've had to push myself beyond the niceties that this is so not something I would do, but I have to let this bad guy do it. And it's hard. It is hard, but I kind of like writing the bad guys when I know they're going to get their comeuppance.
Well, they don't always get their comeuppance, though. That's the thing.
They don't.
Not always. Lynn Lumsden Green loves the cover. It's just wonderful.
Thank you.
Great. Chris Banner has also loves your board as well.
Do you guys want to see the board?
Yeah. Show us the board. Go on. Show us the board.
All right. Okay, where are we? Okay. Board.
There we go.
There's the board. See all that? Yeah. So that's my writing board, guys. So I constantly have that staring at me when I'm writing, reminding me that I can't just doom scroll.
Just pressure. I agree with this as well. Neen's been struggling with ill health, loss of a friend as well. Still managed to write his book. She's very talented. That's 100%.
Thank you, Lynn.
100%.
That means so much to me.
Chris. I pressed on the wrong one. Greg, characters are great, Neen. It's a pleasure to read your work. Agree.
Thank you.
Best description of pantser writing ever heard. That is true.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
And Nikki is excited to put a face to the name. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Nikki.
So we'll put up this again. So as we said before, Cold as Hell, out May 31st in paperback, ebook, hardback. It's available to pre-order right now. So go do it. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention about the book, or anything else you'd like to touch on before we wrap up?
Just thank you all, everyone who's jumped on and asked questions and joined us today. I'm blown away, and I really appreciate it all. And I really hope you like it. I'm a little bit in love with the book. I've had that moment where I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And then I've come back around and gone, damn, I am so proud of this. So I really hope you guys like it.
Good. I think they will. I love the book. I think it's great, and I think it's going to be. I think people are going to really, really fall in love with it when it's out. So before we go, we're going to show the cover one last time, and then that'll be it. So anyone who's watching afterwards, just leave a comment. It can be about anything at all, as long as you put a comment in, and you'll be entered into a draw to get a copy of Cold as Hell when it's released. So thanks everyone for joining. We're really excited about this book. Can't wait for May 31st. It's nearly there, not too far off now. And thanks, Neen, for writing such a wonderful book.
Thank you.
Here is the cover one last time. Good night.